Hey, what's up guys, Lux here bringing you a new video, and today we're going to be taking a look at LEGO set 21172, the Ruin Portal. This set came with 316 pieces and retails for $29.99 in the United States. This is a very neat one, comes with a lot of new features, a lot of interesting features. As you can see, it's obviously a Ruin Portal build, as the name suggests, obviously. As you can see, it takes big inspiration from the recent Nether update with the Warp Forest on one side and the Overworld on one side, as well as being a Ruin Portal. Something you can actually find in game, and seeing Steve there in the side having some full netherite armor. The build has a lot of neat features. If we take a look at the back here, you can see some of the features. Obviously you can have the portal here as it represents up there be more, I guess, broken apart, look more like a ruin, as well as some other features here which we'll take a closer look at when we build up the actual set itself. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the build. Alright, here's the set fully built up in its entirety, but as always, first we're going to be taking a look at the minifigures. Alright guys, here we go, taking a look at the figures. First off, we're going to start off with the baby Hogland. Now, obviously you can classify it as a figure or a creature build. I'll say it's a figure since it's technically like a character in game, or a mob. So this is the baby Hogland. We're going to start off from least exciting to most exciting. I would put this into the more exciting category. However, the fact that LEGO still uses the same color tone that they did in their previous Hogland build, that definitely makes it a little bit disappointing for sure. This is the first time we're getting a baby Hogland in particular. We've gotten the adult one, still has the same mistakes as the predecessor. The horns are the incorrect color, or the tusks I should say, and just the body is incorrect. It's tan instead of how it's supposed to be pink. So kind of sad to see that they didn't fix their mistake or learn from it, but what are you gonna do? It's LEGO. Yeah, we should know by now. We're familiar with them, but yeah, a little bit disappointing on this front, but as you get a good idea of how it's supposed to be built, for sure. Definitely good part usage, just not the right color, essentially, is what the issue with this is. But yeah, it's been the Hogland. Moving on. Alright, next up here we have this tall boy, the Wither Skeleton. Now, while we gotten him before, I'm definitely more excited to get him in the correct shade and build compared to the baby Hogland there. We've seen these guys in multiple different sets before, obviously relating to Fortress or just other Nether environments. It's always a really neat figure to get, not too common. We did see him in a poly bag earlier this year, but still a neat one to get. Stone sword accessory obviously definitely fitting there. The head very well detailed, and obviously the body build pretty much as good as it can be. So yeah, that's the Wither Skeleton. Again, not too much to take a look at here. It's not a new figure, but always a nice one to get. Anyways, moving on. Next up here we have the baby sheep. Now we get a bunch of sheep and pigs scattered about in these Minecraft sets, but this time it is a new color. Nice dark purple coloring here. A very nice color to get, especially one that we haven't gotten before. It is in the baby sheep form, but you can very easily make this into an adult sheep. But yeah, very good here. I love this color. Not my favorite in particular, but I still very much enjoy it. Glad we're getting new colored sheep for sure. And yeah, very nice inclusion to the set as well. Very fitting with the Nether theme, with the, you know, it's the same color as the Nether Portal, if that makes sense to you. So yeah, that's been the baby sheep. Last up here we have Steve. Now typically a Steve wouldn't be very exciting at all to get as a figure, but this one in particular, you know, LEGO definitely made sure people would want to get this guy, and this is because he's wearing full netherite armor. First figure full netherite. He's got the netherite chestplate, the netherite leggings, as well as the netherite helmet, not to mention the sword. Diamond pickaxe, but you know, who cares at that point when you got all this on. Very neat here. Obviously the helmet definitely different from the typical helmets that you would find from other tiers of armor. Netherite here in game it looks different, and here they make sure look different, very similar as well. So I'm happy with that. Netherite chestplate and leggings always look the same, and they look good here. Nothing to complain about. The sword is awesome as well in this blacked out kind of gray color scheme. And diamond pickaxe is never a bad thing to get, even though we've gotten many of them as well. But yeah, definitely fitting here. Like how the Steve looks. Definitely a nice change of pace as well, even though, you know, it's just a change in armor. Still nice to get here. Anyways, that has been the Steve figure. Now we're done looking at the figures. Let's take a look at the build. Alright, now we're done looking at the figures. We can actually take a closer look at the build as a whole. Now this is just a singular build structure, so there's a lot of detail to go around. But besides this is pretty much what you get. And in my opinion, I mean, we'll get into closer detail right now, and I'll get into my opinion. So first off, we're gonna start off from this corner of the overworld. So we got a little bit of a waterfall, water meeting here, a little bit of a lake, or maybe just a pond, whatever you want to call it. We got some stone here. We'll get into exactly the purpose of this is. Moving more to the right here, we got some gold ore. Looks like there's a little bit of a cave underneath. So some gold ore at this high of a level. Very interesting. Here we got a furnace lit, and the other side is unlit, but we'll just say it's lit for now. However you want to interpret it as. We got a little bit of a lantern here, your normal lantern. Up here, we have some steps leading into the ruin. We'll get into more detail with that in a little bit. Here we have a red poppy, or just a rose, whatever you want to call it. And okay, now we're taking a look at this side of the Nether Portal, the overworld portion. So we got some steps leading into it. We have obviously the Nether Portal not lit. Now there are a couple ways you can really have this. So essentially you can just take this apart in many different ways. You see that? Like you can just remove the top, or just take the side out, and you can have it look like this to actually make it look like a more accurate ruin portal. Because typically they're not going to be completely built out. Sometimes they will, but other times they're not going to be. You can see a gold block up here, obviously not as big as you would expect from a typical gold brick and block to be represented, but that's what it's supposed to represent. You can sometimes find gold blocks and chests near them. This one doesn't have the chest, but it does have the gold block on top, which you can very gladly take to help you in the Nether. So yeah, there's a couple ways to have this ruin portal. I like having it like this because you can very easily switch it from lit to non-lit, as I will show off in a bit. So moving here, this is what I actually want to show off. This is how you make the portal lit or unlit. So first off, over here on the side, you can lift this up and down, and as you can see there, it actually brings up the Nether portal. As you can see, you can move it up and down as you please, no issue whatsoever. Now the way to keep this up here, because obviously if I let it go right now, okay, well, that's a bad example, but if you have the lever here faced like that, then that's fine. But if you position it like this, then it starts going down on its own. So once you bring it all the way up, you just want to move the lever downwards, keep it like that, and the portal should stay up nice and neatly, as good as it can, obviously. And obviously it looks the same from both sides, so very nice little design there as well. Definitely like this purple glass there, 100%. Next up, down here, moving to the Nether portion, we got red warp forest. We see this tree here with the nether vines, warp vines, whatever you want to call it. Obviously a lot of netherrack covered in the red warp texture here. Back here we have a blue mushroom, as well as a red mushroom when you get to the blue warp forest portion. We can see obviously the mobs here located in the nether, the wither skeleton, as well as a baby Hogland. Over here we've got some netherite and a bit of a lava pool. You can see how parallel it is next to the waterfall and the little lake on the overworld, but you know, just something fun to point out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously you can see some parallels, you can see some cool little new features such as the netherite ore, which is the first time we're getting this. We obviously got the netherite armor in Steve, full netherite, so glad to see how they interpret the netherite ore here. And I think it looks pretty nice from my experience. So yeah, that has been the Nether Portal, the ruin portal I should say, and it's a pretty good one. Definitely one of the most standout features, or one of, from the Nether update. It's always neat to find one of these and seeing represented here in Lego. We've seen like many mocks before, and now having an official one, very nice here. For the price you're paying, $29.99, I think you can make an argument that it's definitely worth it. Just the build, the concept as a whole is very neat, half Nether, half overworld. I've always liked that concept. We had it with the Nether Portal, we had it with a few other sets as well, so I'm not complaining at all here. You get a full netherite armor Steve, very desirable. You get a new sheep, you get a baby Hogland, and a bunch of other small but neat features as well. You can see scattered about the set. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the set. Again, one condensed build, but a lot of little things to point out. I very much enjoyed building this, and don't regret the purchase either. Definitely one of the neater sets to come out from the summer wave. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed, you know what to do. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.